Alright guys, so let's talk about it. Which one should you buy? Limited or Laramie? Now I am lucky to have a Limited in a different color other than black, because typically when you see these, they're black. I've seen a lot of Laramies with the night edition package in other colors like silver and granite, but I don't really see these in white either. But I wanted to show these to you side by side. This is just a quick visual comparison, more or less. They don't have the same options on them. Like this has a diesel, this has the standard 5.7 Hemi, doesn't have e-torque, so it's not really apples to apples. So we won't kind of go into those details, but nevertheless, I want to show you guys the front ends, the interior and exteriors, just so you have a better idea to see which one would be better for you. So let's get into it. Really quickly, be sure to subscribe to JB Reviews and make sure you have those bell notifications on, and be sure to check out my other channel, Attainable Exotic Cars. Special thanks to Criswell in Thurmont, Maryland. They allowed me to do this test. They do have this Laramie listed at $59,628, and the Limited is priced at $69,998. Now let's get back to the video. Starting off with the Laramie, Laramies do have reflector style headlights, and they are going to have LED daytime running lights. Now the daytime running light is going to be the actual headlight, but you do have an appearance light too that's LED, like a light blue color, and you have reflective style fog lights just below. Your grille is going to be blacked out, and this one does not have tow hooks on it, but you can get tow hooks with this truck. And you are going to have LED turn signals too. Now if you look at the Limited, the Limited has a little bit nicer styling in my opinion, especially around the headlights. The grille is pretty much all blacked out, and it does continue around the headlights. Some people don't like the thinner style of these on a Limited. I think they look amazing. You do have a different style, however. This has reflective style. This has a dual beam LED projector. Now this one's going to act more of like a high beam for you, and it's probably going to reflect off of your like signs on the side of the road too. But this one does have a front facing camera. You do have parking sensors just below. I didn't point that out, but you have them on this one too. But you have the tow hooks down below. They are finished in black. And if you move up, this one does have the performance hood, which does come available with the night edition package. Now if you take a look at your Laramie, you have the same hood, so there's not much difference, if you ask me, on the front end of these trucks. Now if it were still me buying, I would still get the Limited because I like the dual projector style headlights so much better. This truck unfortunately does not have air suspension, but this does come standard with that too. Now let's take a look on the side here. I do prefer the Laramie wheels over the Limited. In the comment section, what do you think about that? They're both the same tires, but I think that this wheel looks a little bit nicer, and I don't know why. I think I like the 5-spoke design personally, so you just have to figure out what you want. But the tires are finished off in the 285 45 22, and it's going to be the same thing on here, 285 45 22. But as I mentioned, air suspension does come standard. Air suspension is optional on the Laramie. Now if you take a look at the mirrors, they are finished off in black because of the night edition package, as well as on the Limited. So not much difference there too. So all in all, I think the win goes to the Limited up front, guys. I have a Laramie, so I'm not being biased, but I don't know, I like the design better. I think it just looks more sleeker. Now as far as the side view goes, the only big differences are the wheels. That's the only thing that you will notice that's different. They both have smart key system. The only thing that I see that this one has, which is an option with the Limited level 1 equipment group, is that you do have the cameras on the mirrors, and as you saw on the front, that is not available, I don't believe, on the Laramie. And I will be sure to show it to you here in the video because I did not see that it was available. Now they both do have the power deployable steps. Now these power deployable steps are going to come standard on the Limited, but they are an option for the Laramie. So the Laramie, they are $9.95 for the power running boards, okay? But as far as that goes, they're pretty much the same. Now if you get this night edition, this tonneau cover does come along with that package. It does not come along with the Laramie, okay? And this one does have that optional tailgate. If you can see it there, it's called multi-function tailgate. But out back, they both have the black chrome tailpipes. The taillights are going to be the same for both trucks. They're LED. The only difference out back is one says Laramie, one says Limited. That's really the only difference that you're going to see. You can still get this multi-function tailgate on both trucks. And as you guys can see, you do have a step down below here. Now, one thing to note, this truck does have rear parking sensors. It does not have a side parking sensor. Now, if you take a look at the Limited, they do give you an additional sensor on the side of the bumper. So you do get something a little bit extra there. A lot of times you won't really notice a lot of the biggest details just because they don't always jump out at you, but sometimes you see one or two things that might really pop out that's different for each truck. As far as fit and finish goes, the Limited is slightly more luxurious. This truck does have real leather seats, for example. It does have real wood accent around the interior, and you just get a nicer finish on the door cards, around the speaker. The speaker grills are just beautiful, and you get wood trim on the steering wheel. Don't get me wrong, the door card on the Laramie is still really nice. Like, you still have soft touch up here, but this is like a vinyl material, and you don't have as nice as speaker grill surrounds. You don't have a wood trim piece on the steering wheel, and you don't have real leather seats. Now, they do give you suede inserts to add a nice accent towards the seat. Kind of goes around it up top here, all up top, and then on the sides, a lot of stitching still, but the dash isn't as nice. I mean, this is the dash on the Laramie, and here's the dash on the Limited. So it looks a lot nicer, leather wrapped. And this truck does have the Harman Kardon sound system too. I believe it is an option though for this truck, so just keep that in mind. But even around like the seats, like, you have that nice bronzish color. The only thing I don't like about the Limited is you still get a manual adjustable steering wheel. However, on some of the other Chrysler, Dodge, Ram brands, they do make this powered. Now, they both are going to have push button start. 12-inch display is standard for the Limited though. If you want the 12-inch display, it's going to cost you more money for the Laramie.
Morning.
So one of the things that you're probably going to notice in this video is this. Be careful on your options that you choose for the Laramie, because a lot of things come standard on this truck, and you can make the Laramie probably about the same price as this truck, maybe just a few thousand less. And really, as far as the interior goes, you can see over here, just so much nicer, so much cleaner. I think that the fit and finishes are just way nicer. And even when you look down here, this is something that you really will see that's different. So hold on one second. This is the center console for the Laramie. So it's all open, it's all exposed. And even over here, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still really nice, really upscale, but it just looks so much nicer in the Limited. This is all a wood trim piece. This here is wrapped in leather. This is like a vinyl, so it's not a hard plastic here, but it still doesn't look as nice. And even when you take a look at the center console, let's take a look at the Limited one more time. You can clearly tell that this is a little bit nicer in terms of the fit and finish. So I think that it's no contest. This wins 100%. Now, ventilated seats are going to come standard on the Limited, and as you guys saw, this truck does have the air suspension, so you can lower and raise this truck by pushing a button. Now I'm going to show you a quick time lapse of it right now. So there it is. This is the highest setting in the air suspension that comes standard on the Limited. Now it's like a heavy duty truck now. And you can really clearly see that it sits higher now. Such a beast. Now, as far as your truck goes, you can get air suspension. However, let's just be honest here. The win goes to the Laramie when it comes down to reliability, because that's one less thing to break on this truck. So if you don't want that suspension, I still think this is a viable option for you guys. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, let's take a look at the back seat here. As far as size goes, you're not going to see any difference there. However, you do have heated outboard seats on the Laramie. Yes, in a truck they put heated outboard seats. Now let's check out the Limited. In the Limited, not only do they give you outboard heated seats, but they take it a step further and they give you the cooled seats as well. So yeah, who's the clear winner there? Is going to be the Limited, guys. One thing to note about the Laramie is you can get slush mats with these, so they have like a raised side on them. So these are available, and of course carpet is available too. Now if you walk over to the Limited, the Limited has a carpeted mat insert with all-weather floor mats. So you basically get these standard, you don't have to opt for them, and all you have to do is just take out the insert if you don't want these carpeted mats to get dirty, and you can just run them as all-weather floor mats. I figured I'd try to show this to you real quickly, but I can't really see a difference. So we're going to change the angle. We're going to put them side by side to see if you can see a difference with the air suspension, because at this level you can't really tell, and probably the ground's not level too. So I'm going to park them here side by side to see if we can see a difference in the height difference. You can now see the difference in the height. It's probably about 1.25 inches higher in that ballpark. I don't know, guys. I think the Limited looks better. You guys let me know though. Wow. Can't really tell on this side, but on the bed you can clearly tell the Limited is sitting a little bit higher. Now the last thing I'm going to show you, and then I will effectively end this video, I'm going to show you the Limited in its lowest setting. That way you can have a good idea of what it looks like, alright? And there it is. This is the lowest ride height. You can't really tell. It's just about 1 inch, maybe. Not even 1 inch, maybe. Oh, this is definitely 1 inch, 1.25 inches. So this is probably a normal ride height with the Laramie. But yeah, you can tell now it's a little bit lower out back too. But hey guys, thanks again for watching the video. Hope it was helpful. See you soon. Since you stayed to the end, I completely forgot to get the VIN numbers for both of those trucks. Now, the Limited has not sold. However, the Laramie did already sell. So I did find a similar one on their website. I am on Criswell, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Thurmont, Maryland. Special shout out to them for letting me do the video. Now, I'm going to show you guys the towing capacity here in a second. But this is the window sticker for the Ram Limited, okay? Now, this truck was $76,295. I believe the Laramie that we saw was maybe a little bit less than this one, like maybe like by like 10 grand, I believe it was. But one thing to note is this does not have a 410 axle. So when I show you the next slide here, you're going to understand why it's so low, okay? But I'll just kind of zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. But be sure to pause it if you like. And here's where the options start at below. Right here. Then it continues up top, and then fuel mileage is on the side here. And here is the payload for the Limited that I showed you. That's with the Eco Diesel, 1,291 pounds. That's very low. As you can see, the payload and the towing capacity are both kind of low, and that's because this truck did not have that option for the 392. I strongly recommend you get that option, guys. And here are the numbers for that Laramie. Now this isn't the identical one, but the payload is probably maybe just a little bit lower than this because that truck had a few more options than the one that you're seeing here. And again, it did not have that 392 axle, so the towing capacity is kind of low, which in my opinion, I think this is a perfect number for a truck like this. And I probably wouldn't go much over this even if I had the 392. But thanks again for watching. See you soon.